What's going on, gangsters? Gregory Scott here. So in today's video, we're going to talk about everybody's favorite thing, handstands. Now there's a couple reasons you can hold it, and this video I'm going to show you why. Let's get to it. Alright gangsters, welcome. So this is now the third video in the series of the art of the handstand. So in the first video we covered the 5 elements that make up the handstand, the 5 elements you need to master. In the second video we covered how to build up the strength for a handstand. So now in this video we're going to talk about wrist and forearm strengthening, something that's critically important for the handstand, but oftentimes neglected. If you find yourself able to walk on your hands, but you can't actually hold the handstand, then this video is for you. Or if you find yourself with wrist pain before, during, or after doing handstands, then this video is for you as well. So like I said earlier, wrist strengthening is something that's so important, but so often neglected. So if you think about it, of course it makes sense that you have to have strong shoulders to do a handstand. That makes sense. Of course, people think all the time about the balance that it takes to do a handstand, but oftentimes it's neglected how much weight and how much stress is placed on the wrists and forearms to stabilize yourself. I know at least when I started, I didn't think about that stuff. The reality of things, however, is that your wrists and forearms' ability to stabilize yourself and make those constant adjustments as your weight sways back and forth is one of, if not the biggest factor in your handstand. So with all that being said, I'll give you a quick example of what exactly it is I'm talking about. Then after that, I'll show you 3 wrist exercises you can do to get to that next level, start strengthening your wrists and forearms, and make ultimate gains. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so hopefully with this, a light bulb will go off in your head and you'll be like, okay, I see what he's saying. Alright, so imagine this. So I'm standing on my 2 feet, right? This is the balance. Okay, so now if my weight starts to shift forward, in order for me to turn to a good balanced position, I'm gonna have to push with my toes. I have to push back to stabilize myself, right? So if I go forward, in order for me to turn to a normal position, I have to push with my toes. You can even try it as you're watching this video. Okay, so now apply that concept to your hands, right? When you pop into a handstand, if your weight starts to go forward, your wrists and forearms have to be strong enough for you to push back, right? So if your wrists are not strong enough for you to push back, you either fall forward or you start walking on your hands. That's your wrist and forearms way of compensating for a lack of strength, right? So if my weight goes forward, I have to push back. If I'm on my hands and my weight is going forward, I have to be strong enough to be able to push back. So with all that being said, here's a quick gains tip for you, right? So in the handstand, if you fail the movement, you should always be falling forward, right? So you'll see so many times people will do something like this. They're here, they'll kick up and they fall backwards, and it'll just continue to just kick up and keep kicking up and then just keep on falling backwards. So the problem with this is that you're not committing to the movement, right? So when you do the handstand, you kick up, either 1 of 3 things is gonna happen, right? So you can either under kick, so you can kick up and you don't commit to the movement and you fall backwards. You can either over commit, so you kick up, but you kick up too hard, or your wrists or forearms are not strong enough to stabilize you, so you start walking, or you can fall forward and bail out of the movement. Or you can kick up, your wrists and forearms are strong, you're focusing on your breathing, then you can land in the handstand. Okay, so you have to commit to the movement. There's 1 of 3 things you can do, but the point is, if you have strong wrists and strong forearms, your chances of being able to stabilize shoot up dramatically. So now you're probably asking, how do I get strong wrists and forearms? Well, I'm going to show you. Alright guys, so there's 3 wrist exercises that I'm going to show you. So if you do these, if you stay consistent with it, I promise you you're going to build some wrists and forearms up skills and you'll be handstanding in no time. Alright, so the first one is called a calloused push-up. Now the reason I call it a calloused push-up is because you're actually pushing up and stabilizing onto this part of your hand, and that's where you build calluses. So here's how it looks. I'll show you from 2 angles. Alright, and so real quick, so all these variations, I would definitely recommend that you start on your knees, and then if you feel good, only once you feel good, then go onto your feet. So you don't want to mess around when it comes to your wrist. You don't want to get an injury that'll set you back for weeks, months, years, and sometimes your wrist can never be the same. So start on your knees first, and then you can progress from there. So the calloused push-up, it looks like this. Alright, so I'm here, I push up, and I'm onto my calves. So I'm stabilizing here. So my thumbs are off the ground, I'm here. Alright, so pushing up onto my calluses. So you can start with your knees here. You can be as close as you need to. So it doesn't even really matter about the push. We're not trying to build pushing strength, but we're just trying to build the wrists and forearms. So really, you don't even have to do the push-up. You can just do this, but just for extra gains, I like to add in the push-up, right? So I'm here. All right, so you can start to take your knees back further if you're feeling good in that movement. Then eventually, you can just be here. All right. So let's shoot for 10 reps just to start out, and you can be here. And then if you're really advanced with it, you don't even have to go flat-handed. You can just stay on your calluses the whole entire time. So here, right? And that's the calloused push-up. That's how that looks. I'll show you from this angle. So I'm here, I'm just pushing up onto my calluses. My thumbs are off the ground. I'm here, making sure I'm breathing, and yeah, immediately you'll feel that all in your forearms, all in your wrists, and it's extra gainful. So those are calloused push-ups. All right, so next I call these fingertip pop-up push-ups. Okay, so here's how they look. So same thing, start on your knees always, bring your knees back if you feel strong there, and then only then, once you feel strong, then can you go onto full feet. Okay, so I'm here. I go on a regular push-up. As I come up, I'm just popping up onto all my fingertips. All right, and then I come down, popping up onto my fingertips. All right, good. So when I do this movement, so I don't want to like do an explosive push-up so my hand doesn't come off the ground, right? So as I do this, I'm just squeezing the ground the whole entire time and my hand remains in contact. So yeah, it's not any like, I'm not like popping it like this. My hand is not leaving the ground, but I'm just squeezing the ground the whole entire time. That's really just gonna fire up your wrist, fire up your forearms. So how that looks, so I'm here. So my hands are staying in contact with the ground the whole entire time. I'm just squeezing the ground and I'm just getting some nice clean reps. You know, breathing, keeping hollow body, just like that. All right, then if you feel really good in this position, then you can just eliminate the going to your flat hand. You can just stay on your fingertips the whole entire time and get some good reps there. All right, so those are fingertip pop-up push-ups or just regular fingertip push-ups. All right, so this last exercise, this will take your strength to the next level. Okay, so these are called backhand push-ups. So here's how they look. So again, you want to be very careful with this exercise, with all the exercises, but you want to protect your wrists. So if you need to start with your knees all the way here to do the rep, that's completely fine. There's no shame in that. Remember, it's not about like how hard you can go. We're just trying to strengthen the wrists and forearms. All right, so yeah, so how this looks, right? So I'm here. They're backhand push-ups, so I'm literally pushing up on the back of my hand. So I'm coming down and then I come up and I make a fist. Okay, so common mistakes of this push-up variation is you'll see people will come and do this. They'll like go to one side and they'll bring up the other. So that creates an imbalance. We don't want to do that. We come down and then at the same time we come up. Again, I'm not like creating space. I'm not doing like an explosive push-up, but I'm staying flat to the ground and I'm coming up. So just like this. All right, show you from different angles. So I'm here, I'm shifting the weight forward. So make sure that I don't come back here, right? Because there's no weight on the wrist. And when I do this, I want to stay lean forward, keep all that weight over my wrist. Then I'm making a fist, right? So as you get stronger, you can start to bring the knees back. When you're beast mode, then you can go onto your feet and do the reps, right? And then when you're complete beast mode, you can just do the reps all on your backhand. All right? So, whoop, there it is. All right, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you that are asking questions, that are moving forward, that are pushing to be better, and just getting that 1% better every day. So truly, truly appreciate it. I hope we all just make ultimate gains together, all right? So, thank you again for watching. If you got something to get out of the video, make sure you subscribe, spread the gains with a friend, like the video, comment, all that good stuff. And as always, have a gainful day.